All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarah Soon said he kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. It's going down this Sunday, October the 29th, the Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas sinister connection. We starting the the holiday seasons off right with nothing but pure fire. Live stream, taking you where the mind has never went before. You need to get this information. You see what I'm saying? We see that the ceremonies of evil, the rituals, the sacrifices are already taking place, and so we got to go. We got to open our eyes to the symbolisms. You see the codifications and the hidden agendas that's going, and they are real. And I don't want nobody to fool you that they not. And so I want you in the house. Link right down there in the video description. Gonna be in the chat. Brother Ray put it in there. You click that link, generalseti.ticketleap.com, and be in the house. Excited and delighted to be accepted members to the Sarah Soon Seti YouTube page, a dynamic page, Black Power Frequency Energy. I know you're feeling it. If you feel that, you should become a member. The link is right down in the video description. Click that link, says join. You get an introduction video rundown on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence here at the Sarah Soon Seti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. Ring the alarm, kingseti.com. Online marketplace, 25% off selected items at this time. Official General Seti DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics, and remedies. We stocking up. Just be on the lookout real soon. You're gonna see we're gonna have all the herbals there for your family. Get you together for this winter season. You know, and even outside of winter season, they got so much shit they throwing on you from the air, from the water. So you got to have your herbal defense system together to protect yourself from what's going on out here. We'll be on deck. Make sure you be checking. We also got home decor accessories for every room in the house. Check us out, kingseti.com. Online marketplace, 25% off selected items at this time. Pull the fire alarm, generalseti.com. SETI University, over 1,200 videos of nothing but pure heat, fire, and all the subject that you know and love from General SETI. We also got supplemental, but also monumental and very instrumental research material, documentaries, lectures from the Grand Master teachers with an overview from the general on the master teachers to give you 360 degrees of pure African academic power, wisdom, and knowledge you cannot get nowhere else on the planet. GeneralSeti.com, SETI University. You already know SETI popping on Patreon, BPC making noise. We never calm. Exclusive live stream, too hot to handle on YouTube, too raw for YouTube. For this evening, I'm going in at 11 o'clock. We're going to be talking about the maniac Arabs and how they've been destroying African temples and artifacts all through Africa and all through what they call the Middle East, leaving voids. We show you how they love the destruction of culture, this, that, and the third. So you have to be on point because they even threatening the pyramids. And so, you know, in temples in Africa, and it's just got to be a point where we got to stand up, family. So I want you in tonight. It's going to be raw. It's going to be fire. I don't want you to miss it. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarah Soon Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. Comment, comment, comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will ban your ass. Now, family, let me get some water. I got to get me some water. I'll be right We Black in the House family. I know y'all been waiting. Tonight we're gonna be dealing with is Israel ethnic cleansing Gaza. Did Arabs ethnic cleanse North Africa? And on their way down south, if them niggas don't get their head together over there. Yeah, we got to talk about that. And of course they are. You know, I looked at a documentary. And they know what they've been doing over there. Yeah. Yes, indeed. They over there, putting a maximum, you understand what I'm saying, pressure on the so-called Palestinians. You see, which ain't never existed, only in the minds of the Romans. You see what I'm saying? And so, that ain't got nothing to do with the Romans is Johnny come latelys. The Palestinians is Johnny come latelys. You see, we can even show you not only during the Canaanites, the Africans was in there under the Egyptians. You see what I'm saying? But they had always, because that land that we know of today as Israel is the doorway into Africa. And so by default, the Africans maintain military control over the land. You see what I'm saying? No different than the United States would come to the aid of Canada. You see what I'm saying? Or come to the aid of Mexico if there was an enemy to attack from the outside. That's a doorway into the nation. They would immediately come to the aid of any one of their neighboring countries. You see what I'm saying? Really, that's why Russia is in Ukraine. But you understand what I'm saying? Because they know they're gonna be right there in their door. You see, and so Egypt, Ethiopia always maintain military control, or always let it be known to the family in the land that if you need us, don't wait till they get there. Give us a call. So anytime there was a problem in that land and they saw that it was trouble coming, they would immediately get word to Egypt, get word to Ethiopia. They on the way. And Egypt would immediately send in military. You see what I'm saying? To secure the land. This has always been our land. You see, even what you call Mesopotamia. You understand what I'm saying? Even what you call today Arabia. You see, we have to understand this. We have to see, and you cannot see when you listen to these people out here. You got to understand that they never start at the beginning of the book. You see, they never start at the beginning of the book. And so when we talk about, and we can start from what they quote unquote call the monogenetic origins of what they assume to be all life on the planet, humanity, and which I'm not getting off into that. You see, only the African can claim that glorious history of coming up out of Africa. You see, but let's roll with it, because every time they say some shit and then we call them to task, then they run. They come up with another story. You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna show you how they try. And I'm telling you, and if either you lay dormant and you lay quiet, and I'm showing you what they trying to do today. Now, they talk about this quote unquote monogenetic origin coming out of Africa, the interior of Africa. You see what I'm saying? We're talking about around the Great Lakes region, what today they criminally have renamed Lake Victoria. Ain't no Victorias in Africa. Victoria ain't even got a lake in Britain. Lake Victoria ain't even got a lake in Scotland, Ireland, or none of that. And I don't know how in the fuck she thinks she can have a lake in Africa. You see, that is a criminally renamed African territory, lake. You understand what I'm saying? So when I say that, it is only for you to be able to go to the map and identify it, but it is criminal. You understand how they didn't come into Africa? It is even more evident of an act of imperialism that didn't happen on our people. You see, we can't sit here and talk about, and they've been renaming shit all over the planet. You see what I'm saying? But when you come to the beginning of the Nile, you come to the interior around the Great Lakes region, and you see this is where, and our people went south before they came north. You see, they went south before they came north. And then they came down the Nile River. And what I got to tell you, this is sequence. This is chronology. You see what I'm saying? If you want to go with the monogenetic origin, you see, until we get down the river, there is no one down the river. Okay, I want you to understand sequence and chronology. Until we get down the river, there is no one down the river. So I don't want nobody talking about Nabateans, and you understand what I'm saying? Arab, Palestinian, Israelite. I don't want to hear none of that. You understand what I'm saying? Because when we was in the interior, before we come down the river, none of that existed. Nowhere. You see? So you got to come up you got to come up into the heart of Africa. And you got to go to that time and place when it was just us. No other people could do that. You see, no other people on the planet could do that. We could go to a place in time, and see, that's why they created the evolution garbage. Because what they wanted to do, because they know our people is so ancient, that they say, yes, we can't precede you. But the majority of that time is you was a monkey. You see, niggas, you know, you was a monkey and this, that, and the third. And you understand what I'm saying? And you let the man, that the last man on earth to be documented, to have existed, tell the story. You see? And then talk about primary research and all this shit. This, that, and the third. That's some bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? The Cro-Magnon Neanderthal ain't primary in nothing and cannot tell the story. That's why you cannot realize, and most of these niggas out here talking this science shit. I have to say this, and I have to say this, because what is trying to make up for is the fact that they do not have a primary presence, because nothing can beat primary evidence. Nothing. That is the top evidence source that you can produce. Primary, somebody that was there. Okay, somebody who saw it, somebody was actually there, documented it. And so everything is trying to make up for the fact that they do not have primary presence in the ancient world. So they taking vials, and they'll shake a vial and say, okay, this is 2 million years old. See, that's magic, nigga. That's you acting like you got a goddamn time machine. You see what I'm saying? That you can go back in time by shaking vials and shit and say, oh, this is 3 million years. You're lost. You do not have primary presence, and you coming up with all type of fallacies and magic and shit to try to fill the void. You know, the void and the fact that you do not have primary presence to tell any story of ancient times. So I don't deal with that. You see what I'm saying? I don't deal with that. So we come to a place in time where all other peoples just disappear. Ain't no Nabateans. I see motherfuckers. Man, these niggas is funny out here. You know what I'm saying? Niggas running up in the Quran, niggas running up in the Bible. And I read the Bible, but I break that shit down. And as I break it down and peel, get the juice out of it, I also destroy it at the same time. I check it and show you, yeah, it's telling us this, but it's only this old. It ain't but a few days old. So I'm not saying it's ancient, but I am saying it's an interpretation that's coming from that man, and he left his mark on the book. He left truths in the book that if you dust it for fingerprints, you can convict him. And you can identify certain truths that he did not want to be made known to the world. And we know that now. You see what I'm saying? We know that now. And so, yes, we have to go to the beginning and understand until we get down the river, there is no one down the river. Now, what they're trying to do now, and I'm showing, and I want you to know this. What was Memphis' original name? We don't know. A lot of people say these Medunetta names. Hekapata, Egyptica, Hekapata. Because, Egypt come from Ptah. You see what I'm saying? But these is not, I'm all right with just, because you got to identify the territory. You see, and so we can't get caught up on what the name was, as if you can go, some shit you gonna lose. Time, you understand what I'm saying? You gonna lose it. You understand? You still got evidence. And you can, through your own consciousness, you can rename it. You understand? In Black divinity. But it's an illusion to believe that you can reclaim everything. You cannot reclaim everything. You see, the vernacular is gone. Yes, it exists in pieces and shit, but you can't even identify that. You see what I'm saying? You can't identify the vernacular. But the fact that they gave us alphabet, gave us institution, that can be identified. But every sound, and you know what I'm saying, and you look up and you can't identify everything. And see, that's the illusion of motherfuckers believing that they can do that. And so you will get motherfuckers that'll go to the wall and they'll act like they fucking Imhotep and they'll read every goddamn symbol. You need to leave that nigga alone immediately. You need to leave that nigga alone immediately. They'll go in every symbol. This motherfucker act like he actually living back in 4000 BC. You understand? This nigga come out with papyrus sandals on and shit and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? This nigga think he Imhotep or some goddamn body. And so intelligence and smarts is having enough knowledge to know when you don't know, when another nigga don't know, and when you could just put it's not a parameter, but it's letting yourself know that some things is beyond, and we cannot get into the illusion that everything that is being said about ancient Egypt today is from ancient Egypt. It's a perception that has, from thousands of years of people looking back, putting their own interpretation on the civilization. The civilization ain't saying nothing in a vernacular. Yes, it's speaking in symbols and shit, but you don't all the time know what that symbol means to the people that created it. You don't know. You see what I'm saying? There are some things we can know, but not all things. You see what I'm saying? And that's where we have to understand that. And if we get past trying to claim things we can't and claim things that we can get a proper understanding. and move past it and come to understand if we got to rename some shit, we got to rename it. You understand what I'm saying? Long as it's on our terms that we rename it. It's on our terms. We rename it. It was being renamed even in Egypt. It didn't stay the same over 3,000 years. How is that possible? It was a lot of things being renamed. It didn't stay the same over 3,000 years. So understand that change is inevitable. But what I want to bring up the fact that now what they're trying to say about Africans migrating out of Africa, they're trying to say that they took the route of the Horn of Africa into Arabia before they come down the Nile into Egypt. You see, they saying that that wasn't the first route outside of Africa, that they actually went across the Horn of Africa into Southern Arabia, and from there they went up. You understand what I'm saying? Some say they came back into Africa. You understand what I'm saying? Some say from there they went into India and so on and so forth. And I know what they're trying to do with that. See, that's them trying to show that it's possible that Southern Arabia, that Sumeria, that India is actually older than Egypt. That's all they trying to do with that. You see what I'm saying? That's all they trying to do with that. So now today you see that they got two different origins, and you got some Cro-Magnon scholars that say that the Arabian exit, you see what I'm saying, is actually the earliest exit from Africa. And like I say, the only reason that they're trying to do that because they're trying to give Arabia, Mesopotamia, and in India supremacy over Egypt, to say that those civilizations actually, because they trying to explain Egypt by way of Sumeria. You see what I'm saying? You got the Arab in there today. That would benefit if you don't know that he's not the original, because you understand that even if the African left, see, it don't make no difference because I can box any which way on my feet. I don't give a fuck. However they want to come with it, I can dance with them. Even if they say the African went across the Horn of Africa from what today either Somalia, whether they left from Djibouti, Eritrea, wherever they left from, and they went across, there is nothing about the environment of Arabia that would cause the African to mutate into anything. So even if they left, they would have looked just like they looked while they was in Africa. And there's nothing about the environment of India that would cause the African to mutate. You see what I'm saying? Only if, and I'm not into that, because the thing is, we say, oh, Africans went into Asia and this, that, and the third, and they mutated. But the fact is that there are Africans that are still in Asia today. They do not show Africans there, but they're there. They have never mutated. You understand what I'm? They're still there. They still look no different than they look no different than Africans on the continent. It's no different. And so we got to quit running and trying to say, oh, these people, them motherfuckers got some crazy origins. There's been some gene splicing and some goddamn, some scientific, they've been, these, what we see about gene splicing and shit, that shit not new. It's been some crazy shit going on for a long time. Hold on, family. I'm back, family. Yeah, my dad had to give me something to take care of my nose. He said, all right, family. So, uh, ain't no hats knocking on this motherfucking door. He say the hat's knocking on. Yeah, this the wrong motherfucking door to knock on. Ain't gonna hey, I tell you what, knock on this door. Hat or no damn hat. Knock on this motherfucking door. We'll be down at Lowe's. We'll be down at Home Depot tomorrow because the dough be missing on this motherfucker. Straight up. Straight up. I'll knock that motherfucker down. You see? Straight up. Yeah. You ain't gonna need no hat when your motherfucking wig missing. Yeah. Here we go, family. So again, they trying to talk about this, and that's all they trying to do. But nevertheless, we can show and prove through documentation that even if there's nothing about any of them environments that would cause the African to change into what what you see there today. You see, but that's what they trying to do. They trying to somehow give Southern Arabia in so-called Mesopotamia and India primacy in the stages of an evolution of civilization. That's what they're trying to do. You see, now to Israel ethnic cleansing, they did that. They did that. When they first went over there, they did that. I've seen the operations where because really they didn't have no, you think they didn't even have no weaponry back then. You understand what I'm saying? And the British and the United States government gave them all that damn armaments. You understand? They went over there, they had military. You understand what I'm saying? And most of them motherfuckers, when they went over to what they call Palestine, and they hadn't even formed Israel yet. Most of them motherfuckers had been to war. They was in World War I. You see what I'm saying? And let me see. Was they in World War II? World War II. A lot of them. So they had military experience. Not only did they have military experience, they had weaponry. They had modern weaponry for that time. Where them motherfuckers was over there was goat herders. You see what I'm saying? And based on the mandates that they had put down and say, well, okay, this is the Palestinian area, and what really did it is the British pulled out. See, the British was in there and they somewhat maintained. Thank you, family. Yeah, thank you, family. I appreciate you. You see what I'm saying? And the British was over there and they had the greater military, so they couldn't just do what they wanted to do. But when the British pulled out from over there, Palestine, and left the Israelis there with all that, man, they wiped their ass out. They put a hurting on their ass. They moved them out of all them areas and shit, and it wasn't nothing that they could do. They had to get the fuck up out of there. You know what I'm saying? So they was leaving up out of that motherfucker by the hundreds of thousands. The same thing that's going on today. So now you see what they did to the Israelis, and nobody's, I'm staying out of that. I seen what they did, but the reality was that they had been doing it to them too. And they know that's a fact. They know it's a fact. And that's why, you get some of the UN that stand up for them and this, that, and the third. He said, sometimes God orders these wipeouts. That's true. Yeah. We got to have a God on our side too. You know what I'm saying? We got to have a God on our side too. You see? But that's the reality. That's, that they've been doing it back and forth. Back and forth. And so today, because it's on TV and they can broadcast, and it hit a lot harder because it is on TV. And it is being broadcasted. And then they can go in there and take video and show you bodies. And then you look on, I seen, I turned on the news and they didn't knock buildings down over there in Gaza. And then they got children, that they pulling out from under from up under the building and shit, and you see it and you see the children, and, it's going to be a part because, but you got to say, you know what? I had to stay focused on my place. You're not no dog where you ain't going to say, God damn, that's fucked up. One way, but you got your own people. You see, that don't nobody say a goddamn thing about. So, oh well. At the end of the day, you can't, oh well. What about mine? So if I'm, I got to worry about my own house. Got to worry about my own house. You see what I'm saying? But they put that in your face and you say, damn, that's what's going on. But see, the thing is, when they did it back in the day, it wasn't on TV. It wasn't right there in your face. They didn't have just clips and pictures and shit, this, that, and the third. So it didn't, they got away with it. They got away with it. And I appreciate y'all. You see, for being here. You see? And so they did. So it's been going back and forth, family. And once you understand it, like I say, they ethnic cleanse us from the land. And I'm going to talk about that tomorrow, too. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to talk about that tomorrow, too. So y'all be on deck. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to come with this information and I'm going to most definitely update you. I'm going to give you all the information that you need to back this up. And so, yes, it did Arabs ethnic cleanse North Africa. That's exactly what they did. And I'm going to black it up tomorrow, too. I'm going to continue to come with the information to show and prove why motherfuckers is crying for the Palestinians, the Israelis. What about African people? What about our own people? What about the genocide and the ethnic cleansing and the stealing of land and taking of our land? You understand what I'm saying? So if anybody got a right to cry for revolution and liberation and freedom, and this, it is African people. It is African people. It's time for us to rise up and reclaim that which is ours. And if we got to share, if we got to give our blood, goddamn it, let it be for freedom, not for no bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? Let us get something for our blood. You understand what I'm saying? Land for blood. So if we had to shed our blood, let us get our land. And if that's the price that we have to pay to get our land, then let's pay the goddamn price and get it over with. But not like Malcolm X said, not on just ours, theirs too. And that's the reality. Theirs too. You see, theirs too. All right, family. We're going to end on that note. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all keep your eyes open. Stay to the plan. Stay to the plan. That's what's going to get you into the end zone. This is General Sarasun said. He said, hey, arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. I was looking at reading at the same time. Don't be. That's right. Confrontation. Black power.